Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Sydney.
We're taking over. We're locking these two up. They've been at this way too long, so we're here to accelerate things a little bit.
We're Mala and Don.
And we're converting a 40-foot bus into our tiny dream home on wheels, one bite at a time.
What?
How to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
One of the most rewarding things about working on our bus has been connecting with all of you on YouTube.
And connecting with others in the bus community.
We met Ivan and Sylvie of Lacroix Cruiser 2 years ago and got a lot of inspiration touring their second bus, a GMC.
At that time, they'd also purchased an MCI DL3, very similar to our bus.
Over the last couple of years, we've watched in amazement as they converted their new bus. So when they were passing through town, we were excited to check out their completed masterpiece. The height in their bus is definitely something that stands out.
We have a 10-inch roof raise.
And thrilled that they offered to help us with our bus build.
It's so much easier to build a bus when somebody's telling you what to do.
So when our friends Ivan and Sylvie said that they were going to be in town, did we need any help? We said, yes, please. There's so many things that they've done in their build that we really love, and we have so many questions for them. It's just like being in bus school again, having them here to show us how they do it. We really like their setup for their plumbing. They have this wall that all the components attach to, so they're going to help us out with that today.
And there's another shut off on the other side of the pump so we can take the pump out at any time.
They had a couple questions before we got started.
This is just for water tanks and plumbing. Okay.
We wanted them to help us plan out our plumbing component wall. If you've been following along, you know we already set up a temporary plumbing system and got our shower working. Up and down according to your height, and you can also angle the head however you want it.
So the first thing we had to do is pull the old plumbing setup out.
And we also need to decide which tank you want to put in front, which tank you want to put in back.
Fresh or gray?
Yeah.
I guess I always imagined that the gray would be in the back and the fresh would be in the front. I'm not sure exactly why. You see it the same way though?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there any reason for that, or are we just both thinking that for some reason it makes sense?
Basically, the gray tank will act as insulation for the fresh tank.
We can count on the warmth of our urine to keep the other tank from
Warm up the other tank.
Yeah, exactly.
So we removed our pressure tank and we're going to change our setup and put it on this board.
This is going to mount right against the two tanks. So when we open it, we'll see all of this.
Shall we cut the board that's actually going to go there?
We can.
And we get to try your new track saw.
It has this little adapter for vacuum.
Yeah.
I like to put it in because then you can point
Away from your
away
face.
from your face.
First time using that.
How do you like having a helper here?
It's great. We should have done the whole bus build
I
like this.
know. Maybe we'll kidnap them.
Okay. So we have a board.
These seal using these rubber inserts. The Teflon is more likely to cause you a leak.
It makes sense. I just have trust issues.
Paste is so much fun. Perfect.
There's nothing quite like getting to spend face-to-face time with friends. We took the opportunity to ask Ivan and Sylvie about how they met and how they got into bus life. So you guys met at this dinner party.
Yep.
Yes.
And then you said, let's live in a bus.
So there was a 20-year span between those two.
Okay.
One day, guy shows up, says, I'll trade you my RV for the Mercedes. The RV was a 1973 Winnebago. we're dirt track race fans. We said, why don't we take the RV to the track? Instead of getting at the track at 6 o'clock at night in a rush, eating a tube steak and not enjoying the thing, and then at 11:30 when the races are done, be stuck in traffic and having to drive home an hour and a half.
That's our job.
Well, he's not the best.
So 73 Winnebago. We'll get this out eventually. So 73 Winnebago, brought it to the track, had a revelation that this is so much nicer. At the end of the race season, we thought, why don't we get something bigger?
But looked at school buses, and one day online see this bus that's for sale. And the bus that was for sale was a 1964 GMC coach. Seemed to be in good shape and everything, and the guy was asking $2,500.
Look at that. It fits.
Very good.
So we'll go up there, and we'll have a shut-off valve there as well.
Put the key.
Oh, that would be good. Because pressure will still be going to here, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. You solved it.
Ta-da. So,
Think about that.
okay, so now we can space them back up. A bunch of little screws.
With the help of our great friends, Ivan and Sylvie, we have our water board. I don't know, what do you call it?
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Good name for it, yeah. Water system, water board, whatever. Can you explain what everything is?
Yes, the water from our fresh water will come out of a hole which hasn't been created yet. Here, our tanks will live right behind it, with a freshwater tank here and a gray water tank here. The fresh water will flow from here into the pump, pumped through our regular household filter, and then it moves on to the manifolds. One for a hose, so we can wash out our system, I guess.
Hose off the cats if they're misbehaving. If you ever get a dog, same deal.
The next part of the manifold will go to our pressure gauge. This way we can easily open up and take a look and see how much pressure is in the system.
And you use the pressure gauge for one more thing.
You do?
Yes.
For
Setting the proper PSI for the pressure tank.
Yes, and that you can adjust that here by putting more pressure in the bladder or less pressure in the bladder.
Correct.
Okay.
And the bladder should be at 2 PSI below the cut-in pressure of the pump. So if your pump starts pumping at 30 PSI, you set this to 28.
The next part goes to this area up. There's a shut-off valve for it. And this is a valve that we'll find. It's either called a Schrader valve or it's a valve that we'll use to put an air compressor to blow out the lines, to winterize it, or to pressurize the lines with air. Because as Ivan said, it's much more fun to find leaks with air than it is to find leaks with water.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next area is a shutoff valve that leads to our pressure tank. Pressure from the pump turns on when it realizes that the pressure is getting low from the tank and builds up the pressure in the tank. So then the whole house is pressurized with the pressure in the tank,
Right.
not relying on the pressure from the pump.
One other thing though.
What's that? Oh,
What's that?
this tees out to our house cold water supply, which at some point we're going to split off to go to our hot water heater and also to the cold that leads to our shower and sinks upstairs.
Yeah. And on here, we'll put a connection that you can remove this whole board. Coming out of the tank will be a T, so that you can empty the tank if you need to. And coming up to here, and this is basically a connection that you can unscrew from the pump. So if you undo that and undo the connection that's here, you can pull this whole board away to service your tanks if you need to.
Not only that, from what I understand, someone who's lived in minibuses, two of the common things that will go wrong or die or have trouble are water pumps and pressure tanks, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So these are things that are most likely to not succeed in doing what they're supposed to do, and this makes it easy to pull it out,
Yes.
access them, replace them, or fix them.
Right.
What a treat,
Another
huh?
successful day. It's so much easier to build a bus when somebody's telling you what to do. That's today's takeaway.
One bite at a time.
Real quick, I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to our latest BFF in the Rahaba tribe, Frank Lee. There's nothing like getting a new BFF to brighten your day.
While they were in town, we couldn't resist showing you a little bit of their bus and compare some of the similarities between our bus and their build.
Our bus is a 1996 D3, whereas your bus...
1995 DL3. L for long. Yeah.
They're very similar, but the height in their bus is definitely something that stands out for us when we come in, because they have a roof raise.
We have a 10-inch roof raise, and that gives us a lot more space, and also our ceiling is thicker, so we can get more insulation in. We have an inch of insulation on the floor and 5 inches of insulation on the ceiling.
Oh wow. Well, just for your guys' reference, because you've seen me in my bus, so this is me standing in the center of my bus. And now this is me standing in the center of their bus. So Don and I are short, so it kind of works out in our bus to not have a roof raise, but we get that question a lot, like, what is the height to your ceiling? But how tall are you, Ivan?
I'm 6 feet, so I've got ample space. This bus, when we bought it, had a roof raise. That being said, I'm not really a fan of roof raises. We see a lot of people, they put a roof raise that's way too high, and that's extra space that you need to heat, that's extra space that you need to cool, and it raises the center of gravity of the bus as you're going down the road. So not having the roof raise in your case is excellent. You've got 6'3" on the inside, so I'd have no problem walking inside your bus either.
That didn't bother you to have the ceiling clip so
No.
close to your head?
No, I actually rather have that. The roof raise has a few inconveniences. We're 10 inches taller than you are, so there are some bridges that we can't go under. And we also have, you know, that extra weight, that extra capacity, that extra space that we have to cool. Now, there are nice things about the roof raise. We have room for these cabinets.
Yeah.
You know, a little more space there. Better spacing possible for the mini split at the entrance.
Plenty space over here. No bumping my head at all.
Our appliance garage. The coffee maker and the microwave are always plugged in. And with this switch, we can decide whether we're running off the inverters or running off shore power if we're ever connected to shore power. One thing that we've done a little differently and better in this bus than our previous bus is we have a dedicated spot for the Berkey. And we also have a dedicated filler for the Berkey. So when we want to fill the Berkey, a nice little tap here.
And they've got a little mirror there so you can see the level of the water inside the Berkey.
So I'm excited to show you their bathroom design. I definitely couldn't spin around like that in our bathroom. Loads of standing room, and the corner shower makes a huge difference in this design. When Don and I first went looking at RV bathroom designs to try and figure out what we wanted to do for our bathroom, this was actually our preferred design. We didn't end up going with it. It actually makes a huge, spacious bathroom.
So in our bathroom, it's actually 8 feet by 8 feet, which is a big chunk of real estate
That is.
to use up in a bus. We wanted to have a comfortable bathroom. The extra height is nice with the shower. We were able to get a standard residential shower in. In your case, you know, their shower is actually great. Having been in the shower, not using it, but having stood in the shower, they actually have a lot of room despite the compact space because of the little shelf you built,
Yeah.
so it gives you elbow room.
No.
The cabinets in the bathroom are all IKEA cabinets, and they're held closed with electromagnets. We have electromagnets, and they're turned on by the ignition of the bus. So when we turn the bus on, the the doors are locked. We also have in our bathroom the medicine cabinet, nice sink from Menards. If you've never been to a Menards, you need to go to a Menards.
They've been to Menards with us.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
you guys have been into Menards with us.
Yes, exactly, yeah. The lighting that we have in the bathroom is quite bright.
Yeah, it is.
So we have a nice little accent light for when you're getting up in the middle of the night that you don't blind yourself. And we also have a light in the toilet, which is...
In the toilet?
Yes.
Inside?
So there's a little LED light in the toilet, and now it's too bright, but it comes on at night. I can aim. Yes. It's a nice little glow in the bathroom. Since we don't have a bedroom door, we won't wake up the other person with light. And then behind the only door in the bus, we have a washer dryer combination, a place for our dirty laundry, and all our solar paraphernalia.
Now, just like us, they chose to go with a Murphy bed in their bedroom too. I might be biased, but I do think this is a great option if you're going to be living tiny, because all of a sudden you can turn it into a whole new room just by lifting the bed up.
Do you have it designed so you can have a desk work area as well?
Yeah, so this pops down to make a desk.
We looked around at a lot of options for beds to get up out of the way. How did this design come about?
Even though we have a roof raise, there wasn't enough space to put a Murphy bed in. We simply designed it ourselves, and it's just 2 piano hinges and a piece of plywood. Not a big deal.
Because they have a 45-foot bus, it actually changes some of the configuration towards the back of the bus. They have a much larger third luggage bay area. They're able to have all of their water tanks and all of their water boards and everything almost back out of the way.
Behind the toolbox, we have our generator. The water tanks are here, so in this space.
So the difference between our two buses, we have this additional space that you don't have, and this door is a foot longer.
So what we have as additional length in the back of our bus is here.
So we have our mini split air conditioner here, same as yours, but it's not on the ground beside the bus, it's actually in the bus. And eventually, Don and Mella's will be in the same place as this. They've used the same racking system that we've built.
I'll follow that up by saying that it's not the same system that they used. I copied their design from watching their video over and over, doing dozens of screen captures.
So like Don and Mella, we have the filter, we have the pressure, we have the garden hose, and we have connections that we can unhook the whole system from the bus in order to get the tanks out, should we need to get the tanks out.
We're back in bus school with Ivan and Sylvie. Basically walking around our bus saying, help, how do we do this?
Or how would you do this?
And what we're working on today is securing down our fridge.
Yeah, we've thought of 100 ways to try to secure it in place, and none of them seemed simple. And so we asked them, and they had a very easy solution. So Sylvie mocked this up for us on a piece of scrap cardboard. Put some little metal bent at the bottom to fit around the feet. I thought, oh, that's great. Where do we find a piece of metal like that? And that's when Ivan said, oh, we just get some scrap metal and bend it. Took it in the garage, and then using our drill press, drilled out a section for the U joint, and then a couple other holes in it so that we could screw it into the floor. It all makes so much sense once you see it bending and put together.
You might need to hold on to it.
Two brackets for your fridge.
Excellent.
Okay, good. We're parallel.
Okay.
We're parallel, we're
We
good.
shut the door, make sure they shut.
And we have it so it's tilting back slightly. The day that you're parked with the front end lower than the back end, you don't want the fridge opening all the time.
Open the door, slip these in.
It's like I was gonna say like getting a prom dress, but I don't know why.
Where have you gotten a prom dress?
Well, I mean, it's like exciting, like getting it to fit
okay.
in. Okay.
And with the microwave shelf above, it's not going to move. You just take a 3/4 inch piece of plywood here, one there, and that's going to keep the fridge from moving at all.
Ah, because it touches the fridge.
Right.
All right, so now we get to drill the fridge. This will avoid the warranty, though, I think.
The warranty was void the second you brought
Put
it
it in
into
the
the box.
box. Yeah.
Now, Ivan and Sylvia had invented a very ingenious way to secure the doors on the fridge closed when you're in transit, so we asked them if they could help us out with that as well.
It's a rib nut gun. And then squeeze it back. Now you have it threaded inside.
Great.
What we want to go in here, first of all, is an elongated nut, which is basically just like 4 nuts stacked together. You'll have a threaded screw with a knob that you can buy at any hardware store. So a large face nylon washer and another nut to hold everything together.
Very good.
And as you're going down the road, it'll keep it in place. Now another little secret, this hole here just happens to be the right size for the knob. So when you're not using it, you can stick it there.
in there?
Yeah.
That way we don't have to say, well, we can't go anywhere until we can
must
find the
yeah.
knob.
Yeah.
We want to say a big thank you to Ivan and Sylvie for their help this week. It was amazing. While they were in town, we also did an interview with them over on their channel, so we'll link that above and below. So check that out.
And if you're interested in getting some help for your bus conversion, Ivan does coaching. We'll link to their Lacroix Cruiser YouTube channel and Instagram accounts below.
So we have to make sure that we build out enough to connect the shade.